All right, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the episode and live stream here on Let's Build Twitter. As always, I'm Ethan Encoder, and if you guys do want access to that private repository, there's a link in the description down below. Let's go ahead and log in. I'm not as prepared as I usually am. Let's go and log in as Unknown Coder, and I'll go ahead and go over what we worked on last episode. So Unknown Coder, and I think we have everything set up. Whoops. Password. Okay. So last episode, we kind of got all this working. We got it so whenever you scroll to the bottom, it loads in new things. We probably want a spinner there. This is kind of where we're at. Now this episode, I have a few things that I want to work on. The first two shouldn't be too crazy. The third one, I'm trying to think about how I want to do this, but I want to start getting the likes going up. So we have two options. We can either we could use a WebSocket, which I don't know, I might do, or we could just make a regular request, but we need to go ahead and make an API endpoint on our backend, and so on. And then also I want to, whenever we like repost something, for example, I want it to actually reflect on here. And I think that whenever we create a post, what I want to do is to go ahead and reload the page. But whenever we do this, it doesn't really do anything right now, because what's going on is all of these posts are in the feed, but all of the actions are actually on the post itself. So I actually found a way to kind of reflect that across. But the first thing I want to go ahead and do is I want to get rid of these numbers, because whenever there's nothing, no interactions on any of these, all of these numbers should be just gone completely, which should be pretty easy to deal with. So let's go ahead and hop into our code. Let's get into our front end. So I don't think we need this. I know I'm getting sidetracked here. So let's go ahead and go into the post, wherever our post is. I should really switch over to NeoVim probably after my break here. So I'm going to be live streaming today and tomorrow. Then Vim are going to be over for the next couple weeks, and then I guess I'll probably switch over to NeoVim after that. So we go into our post, and right now we have these wherever they are. So reply, outlines, and then we have these. So what I'm thinking is we go ahead and wrap these like so. And what we can do is we can check for these. So we can say post replies dot length greater than 0. And we can do this across all of these. So next one, wrap this one as well. Wrap this one as well. And then this will be post. And then this one is repost. So repost dot length greater than 0. And so this is the nice thing about these being arrays of people. And then now we have our likes. So let's go and wrap this one, and then this one would be post dot, and then this one is likes dot length is greater than 0. And then finally we have our count. So same thing with count we should get working. The only thing that kind of stinks about count is going to be we only have one person that I really log into, so it kind of stinks. But if we can at least get it looking and updating as we kind of scroll by, I think that would be good. I don't know if we're going to be able to get it real time, because I don't know if Twitter does real time either, but if we could get it real time, that'd be pretty cool. And then finally we'll do bookmarks. So bookmark, although I don't actually know if Twitter actually puts them beside bookmarks unless you click on it. So this one we might change. So post.bookmarks.length is greater than 0. And this, so we might change this. I'll see. But now if we come in here, now this is what it looks like. And then if we click on one of these, it should add to them, obviously. So that's the next thing that I want to work on, is I want to go into our feed, or not our feed, I want to go into our post slice and kind of make some changes. So I actually found, and I closed out of it, of course I did. Let me double check something. I had a Stack Overflow thing open, but I clicked out of it. So basically what I want to do is let's go back into our front end. Let's go into our post slice. So right now, our create reply is in post slice. Our create reply media is in post slice. Obviously, I create post and create post with media are in post slice. but also our repost to post is in post slice. our like a post, and our bookmark post. So all of these are inside the post slice, but the posts that are actually in the feed itself are here inside of this feed post or this feed slice. So basically we need a way of updating our list of posts in here, but it needs to happen inside the post slice, right? So I did a little bit of research today, and it turns out that this Thunk API can actually do some pretty cool things. So what I think I'd like to do is, if we create a post with any logic after we get the data back, I think that what I'd want to do is send this. I think actually we want to refetch the entire feed page is what I think we want to do, because I think that's what Twitter does. So I think we can keep this guy. The only thing is, I think we have like a list of posts on here. So we no longer need this post slice or post state post. And I don't know if this is being used anywhere, so I'm curious if we delete this and also delete the posts out of here. I'm curious to see if this still compiles. Obviously, I think there's issues down the line. So if we scroll down on our post slice, I think we're adding stuff to the post slice down here. Yeah, so like whenever we create a post, but like we're never using this and we're never using this. So I'm curious to see like if this still compiles, or if there's any issues going on. So that doesn't show any issues. If we refresh, does it show any issues? Cool, so that's a good refactor. So now if we come back up here into our create post, I don't remember what create post returns. That's the only issue. So maybe we go into our Java code and just take a quick peek at what create reply returns. So our post controller and create post. So post mapping slash, this just returns a singular post, so we want to append. Okay, so that doesn't really matter either, I guess. So we'll go ahead and say const, and we'll say data, I guess, is equal to rec.data. That should be fine. And here we'll just go ahead and return the data. We're not really going to be doing anything with it. We could append to the top, but I'm pretty sure Twitter will completely reload the page, and if there's other stuff on top of yours, it'll put it on top of yours. So what I didn't know we could do is we can actually say thunk API.dispatch, and we can actually dispatch another thing. So if we go into our feed slice, what we should be able to actually do is we should actually be able to dispatch load feed page, and it'll go ahead and load the feed page. Now, what does this actually need in it though? So this might be an issue. So load feed page needs the token, the user ID, the session start, and this. Okay. So now what I think that we might do is we might extract the session start, and we might extract these two into the actual slice itself, because I was thinking about this the other day. We probably don't need this in here. We can probably just go ahead and put it into there, and then we can set it whenever we do something, right? Because in here, whenever we dispatch our load feed page, this needs a few things that we may or may not have access to. So this needs, let's see. So this needs the token, which we might have in body. So body dot token. Well, actually, we might want to do this. Token body dot token. So we have that. We need the user ID. So that'd be the author. So I don't know if we called this author or what we called this. It might just be called user ID or something. Yeah, user ID will be author body dot author dot user ID, and then we need the session start in the page. So page we'd have to get from, I guess page would just automatically be 0, and then we would have what would be the next thing that we have? So next thing we would have is the session start. So session start could be like new date or something. So that should, in theory, dispatch all of this. Now the only thing is, now what I'm thinking we do is inside of our feed slice, we're going to refactor a little bit. And I think we bring in our session start and our page, as long as it lets us serialize the date. I don't know if it's going to let us serialize the date or not. Let's go into our feed slice. So now in here, outside of current post, what we'll go ahead and have is we'll have a current page number, which is a number, and we will have a session start, which is going to be a date. So we'll see if it likes this. So date, I'm not sure how we're gonna do. Maybe date or undefined, because we'll just do date or undefined. That way we can keep undefined here. So current page number will obviously start out as 0, and then our session start will be undefined, just to make our lives a little bit easier. Now we're going to have to check for this, which is going to be a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. So now what I'm thinking is this. Do I want to... I guess we'll just set up dispatchers for this. Now the only thing that I don't love is, like, we do need a way to set... So maybe we set session start to whatever session start is, just to be safe. So if it's undefined, we'll set it. If it's the same, we'll just rewrite it. And if it's different, we will do whatever with it. And then current post, we'll set the current post ++ or something. And we can just pass in whatever the current post or the current page number. I'm sorry. So I don't know if this is going to work. We'll see what happens. So let's go ahead and wherever we do this guy, so scroll down to this fulfilled. So posts, we have posts. I guess, yeah, we are doing that. That's no surprise there. So what we'll do is this. So our session start will say action, although we don't have that, do we? Shoot, that won't work. So not passing back the session start. So yeah, we're going to have a way to actually set the session start. So I guess let's go ahead and do this. We will go ahead and inside of our reducers, we'll say set. I don't know why we have a set. Oh, we have a set current post because of something else. Okay. So inside of our reducers, we'll say set session start. I guess we can reset this too if we wanted to. State action payload. And this will be a date or undefined. And inside, we'll just say state is equal to ... state. And then our session start will be action.payload. Actually, there's the action.payload, right? And payload should be payload action. And then here we'll return state. And then maybe what do we want to do here? Do we want to set current? Yeah, we probably want to set current page number. So you probably could have just done a thing with like the value and the name and value, but whatever. Set current page number. And then this will be state and action payload action. And then what we can say is this will be a number. And then we'll just say state is equal to ... state. And then our current page number is action.payload. And then let's go ahead and return the state. We need to do some refactoring before we can actually test to see if this works. But that should be fine. And then we'll call this, where we actually, whenever we load the feed page, so we're just going to make it so it recalls the feed page and does that. Let's go ahead and put this, so our set current page number and set session start. Okay, so whenever we... Ooh. How do we want to do this? I feel like this is going to be difficult. I guess... Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do about this, because really... we almost need to pass back to session start. That way we could set it whenever we load the feed page. So let's actually go into Java and pass back to session start. That way we can get it from the body inside of this, and we can say that, like, here we can set the session start to action.payload.session start, and that should help us out. We could also set the page, we could also return the page that we got and then set it to page +1. And then that might also make our lives a little bit easier too. I don't know. But let's just go into our Java code and go into our feed post DTO. And we'll go ahead and pass back a private local date time. And this will be session start. We should be able to just pass this straight back. And then we'll go ahead and add it in here. So this will be a local date time session start. Okay, this dot session start is equal to session start. Then let's create a getter and setter and redo the two strings. So let's get rid of this and generate. Whoops. Right click and generate. I should just get the key binding down. I meant to learn new key binding anyway. So apparently I forgot to set reply to anyway, so that's great. And then let's go ahead and set up the getter and setter. So new, ooh, that's for a post though. Is that supposed to be? Yeah, it is, I think. That's fine. And new getter setter. Actually, before we do that, let's also add in the private, and this will be integer page, I think. Yeah, we can call it page. And then this will be so here will be integer page, just to return what page we're on. This dot page equal to page. Let's set up our getters and setters. So right click and generate our getter and setter for page. And then we will also go ahead and right click generate our toString. So generate and toString for the heck of it. So now we need to go into our feed service, I believe. So this is where we're mapping our feed post DTO, and it has the list. So this, ooh, how do we actually want to do this then? We might need a new object. We might need a feed post response. Or a feed response. Excuse me, because I don't think we actually want these on here. So let's go ahead and undo all of this for continuity's sake in the video. So get rid of all of this for continuity. Let's make my life a little bit easier in editing. So in Java, I think we want to go ahead and make a response DTO that's going to return the list of these guys and then have some other information. So in our DTO, let's make a new Java class. I'm going to go ahead and call this feed. Actually, we can call this get feed or fetch feed response or something like that. Fetch feed response DTO. And then here, we're going to have a few things. So we can go and have the session start, I guess. Or actually, let's do the private integer page first. And then we'll have a private local date time. And this will be, let's go and control enter that. And then this will be session start. And then finally, we will have, what's the last thing that we want? We will have, let me think here. Oh yeah, our private list of feed post DTOs. Okay, and let's go and also import our list for it complains. And this will be called post, I guess. I mean, it's more than post, but we'll just call them post, that's fine. Go ahead and create a constructor. So this will be a no arg constructor. We'll make an all args constructor. So right click, generate constructor, grab them all. And then we'll do our simple getters and setters. So go ahead and say generate our getters and setters for everything. And then we'll also go ahead and just make a quick toString. Right click and generate toString. Cool. So that's simple enough. So now back in our, first we'll go to our feed controller, wherever our feed controller went. And let's go ahead, instead of returning this guy, we'll go ahead and return a fetch feed response DTO. Now, of course, this breaks everything. So now we need to go into our feed service. In here, this will go ahead and return a fetch feed response DTO. And what we'll do is we still have this guy. So then we can return a new fetch feed response DTO. So this is going to have our session date. Our session start can just pass back. It'll have our page, which we passed. And then we'll also go ahead and have our, I think we call this following post. Let's see, what is it not like here? So I passed page first. Fair enough. Okay. Whoops. Uh-oh. Go ahead and copy this. And I scuffed everything. Cool. So a page, session start, and then following post. This is the page of post. Oh, it should be feed post DTOs. There we go. Cool. So now we can, what is wrong with this? This is a list. So I guess we can just call this, right? And paste it there and get rid of this guy, which I think it was complaining about anyway. And then we can go and rerun this, and we're gonna have to refactor how this works inside of our code. So we can actually hop into Postman really quick just to see what it looks like. Make sure this runs and I didn't really break anything majorly. Cool, let's hop into Postman just to take a peek. And I realized I never actually popped out chat, so I'm sorry if anyone chatted. Let me pop out chat real quick. Thanks everyone for the like so far. Okay, so now if we go into our feed, we go ahead and get our feed for us, so user 1, and then we'll go ahead and change this to 9 at midnight. Whoops, this should be 4, and then this will be 9 at midnight. If I could type page 0, we pass it back, hopefully it works. Cool, you see we started at page 0. Our session start was the date that we passed in, and then we have all of our posts. So I'm going to bring this over here because this will be useful for us in the front end. So we go back to our front end. So now we're going to make that same request. We have the user ID, we have the page, we have the session start. We also have our headers and our payload token. So what we're going to go and do is we will scroll down. So now in here, I don't think we need these set session start and set current page because we're going to handle this inside of our requests. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of this, and this will be interesting to see if this is going to work or not. So save that. So now whenever we have it fulfilled, not only are we going to set the post, we'll also go ahead and set error to false as well, just to be safe. But we're also going to set the session start and other stuff. So session start will be equal to action.payload. And we need to change this. So this will be action.payload.post. This will be action.payload.session start. And then finally, our current page number will be action.payload. And then this will be page +1. So then we'll add 1 to the page and save that. And what we might want to do is we might want to check this stuff to make sure it works. But then what we can do is now whenever we're in the post slice, we'll go ahead and just make a new date. We'll set that back to 0, which will then in turn set to 1 and kind of go from there. So I think this should theoretically work. Now, I don't know if this Thunk API to dispatch is going to work. We might have done all this work for nothing. Again, I just read a Stack Overflow and it said that we should be able to link it with this. So now inside of our feed itself, we're going to need to do some refactoring. So I think we're going to go ahead and get rid of these because we don't need them. But what we are going to go ahead and do is we will bring in this. So we will go ahead and say const and current page number is equal to use selector state root state. And then we'll go ahead and say, what do we want to say? So we will say state.feed and then .current page number. And then const session start is equal to session, use selector state root state. And this will be state.feed and then session start. So now what we should be able to do is we should be able to just pass current page number directly in here. So copy this and paste this. So now this is going to be complaining because session start could be false or it could be undefined, right? So session start will be session start ? Session start, otherwise it'll be a new date. I'm fairly certain still doesn't like that. So session start is the date expected, comma. Okay, fair enough. I still think it'll complain if we don't have this. Let's just check. Yeah. So it's because it could be undefined. However, here's the deal. So if we're fetching next posts, we should theoretically already have a session start. So that should be fine. We should have a session start set already. We'll see if anything funky happens and we can probably check this. Like we might be able to just console.log session start to make sure it's working the way that we kind of expect. So we can console.log our session start. Let's actually do this. So we'll say session start, comma, session start. And then we will say current page and current page number, just to see if it's working kind of how I expect. So we can watch for those two, that's fine. Maybe, well, actually, we don't want to watch. Let's do this. Let's watch it in here. And let's watch it inside of here whenever we dispatch. I just want to be safe that we don't call this all the time. So this one, we want a new date because this should be, this one this dispatch will be the first time we load, so we want to go ahead and set it to the current date. This one, we should more or less be able to reuse this session start. And then the same thing's going to happen whenever we're in the post slice. Hopefully, we will reset this back to page 0. We might want to, in here, set this page to 0. So anytime that we get it from loading the page, we'll set it page to 0. And the new date. Otherwise, if we're fetching new posts, we'll go ahead and use the current page number, which should hopefully be set up automatically. Now, that was a lot of talking and not a lot of testing, so hopefully this just works. I don't have to deal with too much debugging. But yeah, I guess let's just see what happens. Hopefully it's not too broken. Okay, it's very broken. Okay, so they're here. We inspect the console. Console, please. We can see that our session start is undefined and current page is 0. So that's kind of what we expected, because it loaded, but we didn't call it again. So now here's the real thing. So if we scroll to the bottom where we can see the last one, are we going to get like, so basically we want like 933 or something around 933. We don't want to go up. So I guess session start is still undefined, but in current page is still 0. But it looked like we grabbed more. We should make sure that we didn't get the same ones over again. So we got this one, whatever this is, Present Lectus. Let's see if we see Present Lectus again in here. I don't think I saw that one. But I'm just going to slowly scroll to see if we see that and it grabbed the same ones, or if it did grab the next set. So it'd be really nice if I was using, it's a different one that says Lectus. It'd be nice if I was using Chrome right now, because then I could be looking at the state. So I might end up grabbing Chrome again, just so I can see the state inside of Redux. Okay, I don't think I'm saying the same one again. Oh, no, okay. Present Lectus. So it did grab the same ones. Feb 26. Feb 26. Okay, so session start and page were still 0. So, what happened here? In our feed slice, whenever we fulfilled action.payload.page and session start. Can we console.log in here? Let's console.log the action dot payload maybe. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's make sure we're getting back the session start properly, and it should be setting it. And also this, let's just make sure we're getting that back properly. So if we refresh, session start, page is 0, we have a session start, we have 100 posts. So that's fine. This is what we expected. We got back 0, we got our 100 posts, and our session start is here. So if we scroll down to the bottom, what do we get? We should get 1, and it should be the same session start. So this is still 0. And 35, 58, 035. And this changed. Okay, so why did our session start update? It updated because our session start wasn't set in here. Right? Yeah. Because we're saying session start question mark, session start, or a new date. So why is our session start not getting set properly? We return the state, so that should be fine. Can we not? I wonder if we can't return. I wonder if we can't serialize the date and it's not yelling at us. Although it's not complaining about the date. Let's do this. I'm going to set a new use effect in here. And this is going to watch the session start. And it's also going to start the current page number. Whoops. So a proper plugin for watching this would be really nice for now. Let's copy this. Let's paste it in here. Anytime these change, that should print. Oh, it's just changing repeatedly. So it says session start. So why was that repeatedly changing? And current page is 1, as we expect. So session start is different. And current page is still 1. Is it calling this over and over again? Because our current page number was set to 1. Dispatching from intersect. And let's just double check it didn't hardcode something weird here. So we get the feed request. It gets the page session start and user ID. And then inside of the feed service page, we're just passing back from this. Okay, yeah, we're not hard coding anything. So it definitely has something to do with our front end. I haven't even gotten to the hard part yet. So that's kind of terrifying. But yeah, you can see that there is a session set and a current page. So I don't think it's calling the right thing. It is. Except we're getting 0 in this. Current page number should not be 0. Oops. Let's go ahead and load this payload. Make sure it's not something funky going on here. The state is definitely set because I'm sitting here looking at the state showing this and this. So the state is getting reset each time this gets called for some reason. Is the page reloading? I don't know. We get page 0, this user ID 5, and the session starts different. So where is this page 0 coming from? Because like, this is the only page 0 we have here. We set this to here and do this. What happens? Now went to page 2. Let's try this. So we're on session start at that in page 2. The still went back to still not working. It's resetting the page. Yep, page 1. So just grabbing the same ones over and over again. Why? Is it resetting the feed slice or something? Before we get too deep into debugging this, let's just see if it even works whenever we add a post. So let's say, let's try to add a post. Ooh, it's lagging bad. That's not good. See if it automatically reloads the page. 500. Okay. Let's see. Post ID 1 already exists. Why would it try to make post ID 1? That's a little bit weird. Post controller, create post, just takes in a create post DTO. And our post controller, or post service. I didn't change anything inside post service. Create post, checks if there's anything in there. Made the DTO. I don't think I ever set the ID or anything. Content, scheduled, author, replies. Yeah, I don't set any IDs or anything, so why does it say... That's weird. Let me refresh the Spring Boot app. Application properties. Maybe we say create drop here instead of create. Maybe that did some funky stuff. Let's reload one more time. We might have to go back to the way we had it before, I'm not sure. Dang it. Okay, let's try again. Testing to make a post. Let's open up our console and let's clear it. Let's post 500. Why are we getting a 500 all of a sudden? Key, post ID 1 already exists. Why is it trying to create a post with ID 1? Is my question. I'm so confused. What did we change? Other than the feed controller, obviously. Because, like, we're not setting any posts in here. Or we're not setting the post ID in here. We see if there's any images and do this. And all of this stuff doesn't work. You know what? Okay, never mind. I think it has to do with this data SQL. because we already created post 1. And it's confused about the sequence for some reason. I've had this happen before, but I don't know how to deal with it. And I don't know why all of a sudden it's not smart enough to realize this. Because all we've done is change a couple things. We didn't change anything in the front end other than calling that dispatch. This is the only thing we changed in the front end. So I highly doubt it has anything to do with this. We can see. Trying to create a post. 500. Yep. Hey, how's it going, Sirius? Why do we all of a sudden get a 500? I don't get it. If we went back into application properties and we turned these off, and reran, I bet it wouldn't be an issue. Let's see. Go into here, clear this out, the console, clear it, trying to make a post again. No, still 500. Interesting. Now author ID 5. Oh yeah, because now our unknown coder isn't created. Okay, so Spring wants to be annoying. Dang it. Spring wants to be annoying about us creating these and not let us insert. So let's see here. Let's do a quick search. Let's see if I can find a solution to this. It says to use auto instead of the other one, but I think I might be using identity, I guess. We could try using auto. So let's go into our models post. I might already be using auto. Let's try auto and see what happens. I don't know why all of a sudden this is an issue when I've been programming with this for who knows how long at this point, and it has been an issue. So I don't know why it's all of a sudden a problem. So let's try again. Testing out, making a post. Still 500. Even more this time. But still think post ID 1 already exists. Okay. Let's try to set it up so that we set our sequence at a certain value. Let's try generation type sequence and see if that works. Again, I don't know why this was fine before. Now all of a sudden it's not working. It's actually pretty annoying when stuff like this happens for what seems like no reason at all. And the only thing I changed was feed. Then I set this to create drop later on, but like this was working just fine. Try again, I guess. Trying to create post again. How's it going? Nope, 500. Same exact thing. Let's see. There's got to be some way to deal with this. I'm using PostgreSQL. Here's a GitHub issue. So Spring is for Java specifically. So for .NET, you'd have to use, if you want to learn Java, then yes, but I'll just learn whatever you're familiar with C# for now. Why is this an issue? Trying to think what in the world. The only thing to do is add a feed. Yeah, I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt to know both, but I would say it's probably better to master one, feel really comfortable with one, and then start learning the other one, would be my suggestion. So if you're learning like C# right now, I would master C#, and then you can come back and do Java basically. JPA save method causes I need to figure out why in the world this is doing this all of a sudden. Because even if it already exists, should be at least modifying it. Yeah, that is like one of the main selling points of Java in general. Yeah, you can basically do whatever you want with it. And it's fairly simple to learn as well, which is also really nice. So this one is saying to keep it as identity, but even whenever we set this identity, it doesn't like this either. To have anything to do with the data.sql having the post ID set in it. So I wonder if we can create a user or like a like or anything like that, or a follow. I guess that wouldn't matter, right? Let's try to create another post now. See if it'll work. Nope, 500. We got two 500s. Why? So, stored procedures don't really work too well with like Spring Data, which is what you use whenever you use databases with Spring. But yeah, I've worked with stored procedures. In one of the episodes I'm actually editing, or I'm planning to upload, like recorded like last week, we made a stored procedure, but we ended up scrapping it because it wasn't working. I'm not sure if stored procedures work in... I'm not sure if stored procedures work in like C#, but I'm also going to see what this is. So, what is going on with these? So like an exception here, relation uses not exist. Alter fails. I feel like there's some weird stuff going on with our database in general. Like, what if I change this back to create? Like, I feel like there's something not quite right with our code. See again here. Relation uses do not exist. Line 25. But it doesn't actually tell me. Like, there's something weird going on, I think, with our Java. And our database being set up. Yeah. User role junction does not exist. Part of me wants to like I don't know, do something with the database. This is scuffed AF. So if I change this to update, now that we have a create, what happens? I didn't think we'd be spending all this time doing literally nothing. So I my front end for this application is React. Okay, so we need to turn off persist or initialize data source. So my front end for this application is React, but I don't use it in my day-to-day work. I'm just a Java developer, unfortunately. Where is this one? Here we go, knit mode. I'd love to be doing some front-end work, but my job just isn't set up for that right now. We have this to update and get rid of these, do what happens. We don't get all those errors, so that's something. But I don't trust that this is gonna work. It worked that time. This didn't work. If we refresh. Nothing's happening? Question mark. Hello? Why is it not working? Now the feed's not working. Terrific. It's getting requests. You can see requests are coming in here. It's apparently the same one over and over again. Let's empty cache and hard reload. I think it's that post that we just created. Breaking it now. Why am I having such a bad time? Let's check dbeaver to see if the post is there. Learning React and they recommend more Angular for spring. I mean, Angular is kind of an older. I just got an update, but Angular is kind of older versus React is a little bit more new, I guess. So, I don't know. I recommend React, but that's just me. Checking our post. Did this... So our post is there. But... Ooh, 03, 04, 16. This was posted at... Why we... Oh wait, never mind. 04, 09, 03. And this is 04, 08, 2022. So does it have to do with time zones? It might have to do with time zones. Oops. I'm gonna check my Postman really quick. No, it's just not getting anything. Wait, does my user not exist? No, my user exists. Except I'm signed in as 5. Still not getting anything. Everything is broken. Why, I don't know. I'm gonna go crazy. Why is everything broken? Out of nowhere. Literally had it as crate drop the whole time. I've had the Spring JPA deferred data source initialization true and init mode always. That one, it doesn't matter. You can use Windows, Linux, Mac OS, it's all fine. Okay, that worked fine. Check our dbeaver for posts. Refresh it. Posts are there. We get back data this time. But it's creating a post still broken. This is still broken. Okay, this is back. Testing post. 500. Don't understand, dude. I really don't understand. I'm going crazy. If anything, it should be updating it. And there's no... I guess so. I don't know, man. This is literally working like 2 minutes ago. It's a different error. Don't know why this all of a sudden stopped working. Spring data JPA. None of these help. Says it could have to do with Cascade. I'm not sure about that either. No answer to that. Let's make sure I don't have something messed up. Has something to do with this loading initial data. And I wonder if it has to do with this. So like inside of our data SQL, we have these values, we have all these post IDs, and it has values. So I'm wondering if like we got rid of those, if that fixed the issue. But I mean, it doesn't really explain why I was able to make post the last like 4 days. Unless maybe I didn't make a post. I don't know. Well, let's go ahead and get rid of the post ID and this ID and let it be generated by the ID in the post ID. And maybe if we do that, maybe that's the issue. We have all these stupid things again. Okay. So if we refresh, it's probably not going to be any post in here. Yeah, this is scuffed again, which is great. You'd love to see it. I'm just having a horrible time right now. I don't know why it can't find any posts. Because in DB, even though we refresh posts, there's still one in there. Oh wait. Oh, it's because I'm not following that guy. That makes sense. So if we change this to 3 and commit this, I don't know if it committed or not. I don't think it committed, but whatever. So we'll say testing again. This is driving me nuts. That was it, huh? Now I don't know why ours doesn't pop up. That's obviously an issue. So we have some sort of issue in our logic in our feed service or our post repository, wherever our post repository went. So post repository. Doesn't seem like we're getting our own posts. Oh. That would do it. I set all of these to 5. Why? Why did I do that? I don't know. And this is just hard-coded too. Was this not working? Or am I just lazy? Or did I copy and paste without thinking? I could have just copy pasted it without thinking, I guess. Still got nothing back. So you can, but I don't really use it much. Select post from author. We might be user ID 1 again. Still no, huh? Let's check our user ID. No, it is 5. User ID 5. Start date's this. We should be at least getting our own data. So there's something broken with this. We get posts where author ID is 5, so that should be our own posts. So we should be getting at least our own post here. Let's go back to Makaru. And let's generate some new data. Makaru. We gotta go through all this again, unfortunately. Now, I don't know why we're not getting our own posts. That's kind of concerning. So, audience, content, posted date, is reply, reply restriction, reply to. Then we have schedule, date, author, ID, and finally poll ID. The audience can be a number. And this is min 0, max 0. Content will be a sentence, one sentence, no more than one. Post a date will be a date time, and this will be SQL date time. That's fine. Is reply will be Boolean, and this one will say if true, then actually if this equal to true, then we'll return false. Apply 0% blank, and let's see. So reply restriction will be a number. This will be between 0 and 0 decimals. Reply to, this one will just be empty. Maybe it's null or none. What is this one? There is one for blank. There we go. That one's blank. Scheduled date will just be blank. We will have next author ID will be a number between 1 and 4. And then I misscheduled, I think. Yeah, misscheduled. So let's move scheduled above schedule date. And scheduled will be a Boolean. Here again, we'll do this. Whoops. Scheduled. If this is equal to true, set to false. Apply, and then finally poll ID will be blank. And this will go into an SQL, and this is called post. Let's go and generate the data, and we can just put in downloads, I guess. That's fine. Can I open this? Posts. Sure. Control A, copy. Hopefully these are all small enough, because then we have to go through and do the same thing I already did and delete a bunch of ones that are too big. Let's go ahead and paste, save, and it should start an audience. Yep, okay. So let's, and I spelled, oh no, I spelled restriction wrong. Of course I did. Try again, reply, restriction. Okay, all these look good. Generate data. Struggling here. Control A, Control C. And let's go ahead and come into here. Paste, save. I don't know. Maybe I just never tried to make a post yesterday. I don't know. This was working just fine on Saturday, I think. Could be wrong though. Okay, a bunch of issues. Schedule dates. And I typoed again. Make sure this is scheduled date. Generate data. One of these days. Stop screwing up. This is going to be a short video at this rate. So I've got nothing to put in here. Now what? Syntax, formula. Cool. Okay. So, I think we have to put end at the end of it. And generate data. Bring this in to Postman or to IntelliJ. Hopefully everything is spelled right now. I didn't typo anything else. Just start, please. Okay. Now here's the real question. If we come in here, let's add a Makaru and refresh. Does anything show up? So stuff is showing up. However, our posts are not showing up properly. So if I say testing post again, please work. So that worked fine. If I refresh this, now posts are just working. I don't know what was going on that whole time. We got some newer ones though, so that's cool. These are just working now. So now that this is just like working and I didn't just spend all that time fucking with it, let's see what happens if we do this. Now I just lost all my ad money because I said the F-bomb. Cool. So if we refresh, we see, let's see if we can get the feed applies to dispatch on a post. Why is this broken again? Why is this broken again? I'm just having the worst night, I think, right now. Because, like, why is this broken now? This was fine. I'm losing my marbles, guys. I am losing my mind. Whatever, I don't care. So it doesn't do what we want. Or did it? Let's do this. So I refreshed. In our feed slice, we are console.logging the payload here. So if this post slice is actually dispatching and then OBS just crashes. What is going on tonight? So let's just try this, I guess. Let's come back into here and refresh. Okay, it grabbed all this stuff, that's fine. I'm gonna clear out of this. seeing if post slice will dispatch to feed slice. I'm going to clear this out. I don't care about that, and send. So it did do all this, but it seems like maybe it's setting the time too late, because we got the session start is 2024. Let's copy this. 2024 09 03 27 31. Go into our dbeaver. And this might be slightly different, and refresh our posts. And scroll down. It's going to take a while. It's fine. I don't know why one's down here, but so we got 2020 04. Let me look at what we got again. 2020 04. Wait a minute. This one says 08. This one says 09. Six, 3, 8. Yeah, so this one should be after. That one should theoretically be after. Because now if we refresh, it probably pops up, right? Yeah. So it is dispatching. What happens if we scroll down now? Does it want to work? Current page is still set to 1. And it reset the time. Although I don't see my post back there. Scroll down and see if I do see my post really quick. Yeah. So literally nothing I've tried has worked tonight, and I've just wasted like an hour and a half doing nothing. So that's cool. So the thing is, this is doing this. We should be awaiting this to come back. Whenever we load the feed page with a new date, it's not popping up. What if we say new date dot set seconds, and we say what we add like a second. This is really stupid. Let's see. Number is not assignable to date. So let's say let d equal a new date. D dot set date to D for set seconds to D dot get seconds +1. Let's just add like a second onto this and see if that'll work. Because like whenever we refresh and it's like a couple seconds later, it pops up just fine. Testing. Fetching post again on adding post. Won't work for some reason. Even though this has to do with this date here. But I don't think it does. Yeah, because whenever I use that date, the 2404 whatever inside my postman, it's still working. So it doesn't have to do with the date and time. It's just not fetching it for some reason. I'm going to refresh the database so I don't have so many things here. And I'm going to go into our front end code. I'm going to go into our feed slice. I'm going to console.log the posts that we get back. I mean, obviously we're not getting back the posts that we want. I'm just curious. I don't think it printed them. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, we are calling load feed page. I just want to double check we were calling load feed page. This is never console logging. I don't think. Well, maybe it is here. Okay. So we are getting console log there. So let's get rid of this. We say making a new post. Wait a minute. We did get this back. Making a new post. Okay, so we are getting that back. But our feed isn't updating. Did we not feed slice? Wait a second. Do we have a super long list? Wait a minute. I know what's going on. I know what's going on. Watch. It pinned it to the bottom. We scroll down here. There it is. Okay. So realistically, we'd want like this. but theoretically that's what we'd want. But we need to refactor this. So we're gonna have to have a load feed page and then a fetch feed page. We're gonna have to have two different ones. Or fetch next page or something. So when we load feed page, this is fine. Exports const and then fetch next feed page, maybe equal to create async thunk. And we'll say feed slash next page. Say async payload. And I'll just do the same exact thing. And thunk API. This one we can try. It's going to be the same thing. Except, how are we going to do this? It's going to be the same thing. Unfortunately. Except the, whatever it's called, the reducer is going to be different. So paste this. I mean, realistically, we could go ahead and say, instead of passing session start, we can just pass in a user ID. So this payload, well, actually we need user ID, and so our load page payload can just be token and user ID. We can simplify this a little bit. Ooh. Oh yeah, we can set this page to 0. And this will be a new date. And then what we can do is we can copy this. And I'll paste it in here. Like so. And it's scuffed. Copied too far. We want this. Copy this, try catch, make sure I don't go too far. There we go. Paste it in here. And what we'll do is now we'll go ahead and say interface fetch next page payload, and we'll still have a token string. We'll still have a user ID number, except this one with page number. Oops, number. And session start to the dates. Okay. And we'll grab this. I at least want to get this done tonight since we wasted so much time. And in here, fetch next page, will have this. And this will be, this should, oh, I spelled ID wrong. Of course I did. Why wouldn't I? And here, this will be payload dot, and then, why is it not showing up? Load. Did it in the wrong one. Of course I did. Not here far enough. Okay. Payload dot page, maybe. And payload dot, and this will be session start. And then come down here. We're gonna make this simple because I don't have that much time tonight. After I wasted all my time. Builder.add case. So here, this will be fetch feed page dot fulfilled. So if we fetch next page, we'll have state and action. And we'll say state is equal to dot 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 state. And we'll do the same thing we did here. Copy this, paste that, return the state. So here, I'm just gonna go and set this to 1, because if we just grab this one, if we just loaded it, we want the next one to be 1. We can keep to that. We can keep the session start, but we're gonna go ahead and set this to action.payload.post. So we'll set that. Otherwise, we'll append all of the new posts to the beginning of the array, and then all of the old posts at the end of the array, and then return that state. Okay. Now post slice is broken, so you don't need to pass either of these. We don't need to pass this. And let's get rid of the other space, save that. So that should fix post slice. And now feed is broken because whenever we go ahead and dispatch our load feed page, now we no longer need this. And then here, instead of load feed page, this will be fetch next feed page. And this will take in all of this. It should have a session start. It's gonna complain though, right? Now this session start may or may not work, we'll see. Yeah, so that's kind of the whole point of this project, just gonna show people how not easy it is to do like projects like this. So now, if we come back into our front end, we refresh. I'm also gonna go ahead and delete all of the extra posts we made out of our back end. So if we come into our IntelliJ and refresh, let's see if we get this working. Give it a sec here. Okay. We refresh our application. We should still get our post, hopefully. Okay, we still got our post. We have our session start at this date and our current page at 1. We might still have to debug our current page not working properly. Which reminds me, we might want to double check that I incremented the current page, but let's go ahead and say test making a post. Send it. Okay, there we go. Test making a post. Now this did not work. So 03:45:16. So this is still getting reset for some reason. Even though, let's see, our session start was 44:52:01:14. This is coming back from our server. So that means it was in here, it got sent back as, let's see. Then that got called again. Because it only has token and user ID. I guess that makes sense. That's what we wanted, right? We want to test if we scroll down. See if the current page goes to 2 and the session stays there. Session changed to 46. So we are dispatched from intersect. This is what we got back. I don't think we have the console.log in there, but it's obviously creating. So we might need to ignore the session start inside of there. We might have to go back to a use state in here. Unfortunately, let's just check to see if the use state in here works. I think it was working in here. Session start. Set session start to use state. Whoops. and then set session. Actually, no, this would be this. And then new date. Now the issue is going to be this. Right? So here's going to be the issue. What's this issue? Void is not assignable to... Why is it saying it's void to type date? Oh, because of this. Make sure to return the dates. So now we're going to have an issue, right? This will set as soon as we load this page. The other option would be to force reload this page anytime something happens in the post slice, which I don't like either. How could we deal with this? I'm gonna get rid of that for now. Now I think if I refresh this, I think the page is still broken. So I don't think us updating the page did anything, but I think this will fix the date at least. No, it didn't, of course. Something's gotta be getting reloaded. Actually, no, that wouldn't be, that would be from, that issue's actually from the page. That'd be a page issue. So page is also being reset. So I guess we shouldn't have changed anything. We should have just kept the current page number the same as well. Page number. The issue is this. We don't have a way to reset it whenever we do create a post. That's the bigger issue that we have. Number set it to 0. The other option we could do is this. We could set like loading. We could watch like, although I don't know if I like that idea. We could do something like jank like this. If we go into our post slice and we comment out this dispatch here, we could do something jank like this where we reload our feed page whenever our, do we have access to post state? No, but we can get access to it. Const post state equal to use selector state and root state. Whoops, root state dot post. So whenever we load a post, it's going to set post state dot loading. At least it should. Post state dot loading, and if this and post state dot loading is equal to false, you could say not. But then maybe this will force reload the page as well. So if we refresh this, does our new post still work? Don't know why it's laggy, but okay. Does this still work? Okay, so that worked. And we expect to be at page 0. Now here's the question. That's a problem. That's above that, but that's fine. Scroll down to the bottom of this. Do we get page 1? Well, 1, we got a whole bunch of dispatches, so that's not good. Okay, so that didn't work either. Well, I mean, it worked here, though. I think we never actually incremented inside of feed, so I don't think whenever we called this, then we need to go back and call set current page number to current page number +1. So I think we still have a page number issue, because this will never reset. So this will never reset our session start unless the page reloads, because post_state.loading changed. And post_state.loading will only change if we go ahead and make a new post. So let's try this one last time before I go to bed here. Hopefully we got this working and I can move on to the other stuff I want to work on tomorrow. So I'm fairly happy with our new post. Now we need to keep our session start the same. Post did not go up. Why did post not go up? Let's see. Current page numbers. We have current page number commented out there. Calling fetch next post in our feed slice. Fetch next page. Okay, that's fine. Fetch next page. Takes in the current number and session start. Session start should not have changed. So let's console.log. Actually, let's do this. In our feed, let's bring back that other use effect. And inside here, we'll watch the session start and the current page number. Console.log. Maybe. The session start and the current page number. I want to make sure that whenever we create this first one, it sets the page number to 1. Okay, it's scuffed. It's fine. Just refresh. Nothing printed. Oh wait, 1. Okay. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Let's refresh. Yeah, so that is 1. So if we scroll to the bottom, but it's getting 0 and 1839. 18, so that's probably close enough. We're still getting page 0. Feed slice. Fetch next page. It's coming from payload.page. And we're not console logging, I guess. This is what we're getting back. So console.log the payload. Why am I not getting this working? So we have this set to 1. And 2257.25. We got page 0. This is the same. Session start looks fine. Why is page coming in as 0 though? Page is current page number. I don't know what to do here, I guess. This should be working fine. The current page number should not be 0. It's not reloading. And before we made the new request, up here, it's set to 1. But whenever we get into the feed slice, with our token and everything, page is set to 0. And let's just double check our feed controller, I guess. Yeah, it's just called page feed request ETO. That's just called page. Wanted to make sure that was set right. Our other option is this. We can add +1 here, and then we can set it here to current page number +1. See what happens. It was set to 2 for a second. So it's at 1 right now. Actually, it's at 0. Now it's at 1. Still has my information. Set to 1 now. It says page 1. That time it did send page 1. So if I send page 1 in Postman, what do I get? Not that. This is still getting page 0. So I'm looking at it right here in Postman. Should be getting one from Morty. We got page 1 here. We scroll down again. I'm wondering if we get what I'm looking for. We get the same page. This got set back to 1. Scroll down again. Still page 1. It's not even page 1. I'm curious to see what the detail looks like in feed controller. What's the last thing I'm gonna do before I go into bed? Feed request. Then we got a call tonight, unfortunately. And tomorrow, hopefully, we can get this fixed. I want to see what this feed post detail looks like when it comes in. Whenever we refresh. Because something's either getting reloaded when it's not supposed to, or something else. Okay, so I don't have any posts in here. I'm just gonna scroll down. We haven't reloaded the page or anything. Pretty sure if we scroll down, 1 day ago. User ID. We got page 1. We got the right thing. So that means that maybe the feed slice isn't working. This one is backwards, right? Oh my goodness. This one we want this way. I think it was working the whole time. Let's make a new post to round out the night. I don't know why it's so laggy. Probably something inefficient going on. It loaded in. We scroll down to the bottom of the page. Let's see what happens. And it breaks. Why? Cannot read undefined post ID. Let's see. Looks like these all have post IDs. What a fitting way to end the night. Just trash after trash after trash. And then it gets scuffed. We got 3 of these requests. That's not good. We're gonna need some sort of cooldown on making that request. Yeah, we're gonna need a cooldown. I don't know why it's getting post ID not found. It's in post. State.post, action payload.post. It's in post.tsx somewhere. $49. Don't know why it's saying that. These should all be illegal. But I think I'm probably gonna call it a night. We're super close to getting this working. I don't know what the issue is at this point. Is it because of this? Let's just do this really quick. It's getting late. I might have forgotten to break the old array down. I just forgot to break the old array down. And now we don't have a duplicate of mine. And I think they're all getting older. No, they're not. Wait, they're getting younger. Oh wait, oh never mind. I'm just stupid. This is the way it's supposed to work. It's supposed to get lower and lower. Okay, it's working now. That took way too long to get working, and I'm sorry for the mess of an episode. Just things were not going right. We got February 20 again, so I'm guessing that our whatever this is, this current page number is still not quite working the way that we want it to. So we're going to have to look into that, but appreciate everyone for stopping by. Sorry for the not very good episode. Sometimes things go really well in development, sometimes things don't go well. Hopefully we kind of end off like my streaming grind on a good foot tomorrow, but I appreciate you all for stopping by. This has been Ethan Encoder. Peace out, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next episode and or live stream.